Hello everybody, Blue Line Gaming here, and welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 on Ninghan Farm. Today what we're going to be doing is finishing up the soybean harvest. You can see we've still got a good amount of field to go. This harvester is running on course play, so that's going to help us a lot because we've got some other things we need to work on. Carting, getting the soybeans we've already harvested sold, and I think what I'm going to do in this episode, I know I said I was going to work on getting a bigger seeder so that we can do these fields a little more quickly. But I think that's a little out of our reach right now. I know the last episode ran long and had a lot of time lapses in it. So I'm going to try to avoid that with this episode, and any work I do will be time lapsed all at once instead of broken up, me talking to you guys and then putting another time lapse in. So we're trying to reduce the number of time lapses and reduce the length of the video. I think it came out to something like 45 minutes, which is way too long for a YouTube video. I didn't intend for it to be that way. It's just the way it worked out. So we're going to do this harvester is about 92% full, 93%. So we're going to go ahead and get into our case that's got our little, oh, Jesus, be hopeful if you could see it. Our little auger wagon. We get into that and kind of start heading towards the harvester. So we can go ahead and get it unloaded and let it continue on its path while we work on possibly getting these soybeans that we have in the semi-trailer over there sold, and look into getting a baler so that we can, when we harvest the barley field, which will probably be the next episode, we can bale up the straw from the barley and kind of pad our bank account a little bit, because $45,000 seems like a lot of money in real life, but it's not much in the game, because the machinery you have to buy, the fields cost a lot, the machinery costs a lot. You blow through $45,000 buying seed and fertilizer and other things you need to keep your field or your farm running. So we'll go ahead, we'll get this unloaded. While that's unloading, I'm going to hop in here, look at the price of soybeans. So soybeans, it looks like our best bet on price is going to be Dragon Exports, which is way down here by the shop. Now, I know I said in the last video, it's kind of a long drive from the farm area over here to the shop. But I think we're going to have to make that. Get the soybeans that we have. I'll go ahead and unload this trailer again so we can get these soybeans into that, get as much money as possible, and see about possibly getting a baler. If not, we're definitely going to get a baler by the time this field is finished. We'll get a baler. I don't like leasing equipment. I would rather just buy it and maintain it as best I can. But if we have to lease one to kind of get that straw baled up and get that money in our bank account, it's not going to be the end of the world. So what we're going to do, we'll go ahead and turn this tractor off, hop out, let it unload while it's doing its thing, which obviously in real life, I know that wouldn't work. PTO needs power. The engine's got to be running to supply power to the PTO so the auger will work. I get that. This is a video game. So we're going to play it like a video game. We're going to hop in our truck. We've got 38,464 pounds, liters, whatever, of soybeans. So we're going to hop in the truck here. We'll just go ahead and hop in the cab. A little first person driving. Never hurt anybody except for the AI vehicles and the things I'm inevitably going. Oh, see? Off the bat, I'm a terrible driver. Look both ways before you pull into traffic, guys. So we're going to run this down to Dragon Exports, and I'm going to kind of talk to you guys about the direction I want this to go. This series is a... I don't really want to say survival, because obviously survival challenges, things like that, you start off with very limited equipment, very small equipment, one, maybe two fields. We're set up starting off on this map in a position where we have the equipment we need, everything we need, brand new, to run a farm, which is super helpful. Oh, Jesus, wrong side of the road. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of all over the place trying to focus on what I'm saying and driving. I'm new to this. I will get better, I promise. Like I said, it's a semi-survival, just regular Let's Play of Farming Simulator. I don't know how many episodes I'm going to do on this map. It's just going to depend on the reception of the map, the gameplay style, things like that. That's going to be a lot of it. If folks start watching the videos and you guys like the map, you guys like the gameplay style, it may stick around for a while. If you guys are like, no, this map is terrible, it's got X, Y, and Z problems, the fields are too big, it takes too long to do anything, I'll hear those concerns, and we might move on to a smaller European-style map or something of that nature, where the fields are smaller, we can do the field work by ourselves, we don't necessarily need course play, you can experiment with different types of crops, things like that. However, if we're going to do this map long term, the goal is to own enough equipment to be able to operate on every field on the map. I think there's 36, 37 fields on the map total. I'm not sure. I'd have to, I'll pull up the map here in a second and look at it. I know there's a 30 plus fields on the map. So that's obviously a big undertaking, because we'll have multiple fields ready to harvest at the same time, multiple fields ready to be fertilized, multiple fields ready to be planted, cultivated, all of those kinds of things. So we'll see, but we're pulling into the Dragon Exports here. It's over here to the right. So we're going to pull in here, see how much money we make off these soybeans, and then once we get back over to the field, we'll possibly look into getting a baler. Now, I don't like the round bales. They make sense in certain applications, I suppose, real life wise. In the game, I don't like them. Yeah, 61,000, that puts us at 107, 128. That's not going to be enough to get a baler outright. Like I said, once we have that soybean field completely harvested, we will definitely be in a position where we can do that. But that's going to depend on the price of soybeans at the time and things of that nature. And obviously we have some crops in storage. We could sell that, but I would rather hold that back for in the event that we are struggling for money and unable to continue operating the farm on the funds that we have. Obviously gas for the vehicles and the machinery, maintenance on the machinery and the vehicles, that all gets run into the cost of running the farm, as well as seed and things of that nature. So with that being said, I don't know, we'll look at our options on balers. Once we get back over here, we'll pop into the store and just kind of see what our options are. I have one in mind that I would like to buy. I don't know why. Maybe because it's not common in my area. I am a fan of the look of class equipment. I don't know anything about tractors or harvesters, combines, whatever you want to call them. Anything like that. I live in the southeastern United States. I'm sorry. I'm trying to gather my thoughts. I live in the southeastern United States, big farming area, rural area. I see the equipment all the time. Come on, car, move. That's the AI traffic. I see the equipment all the time, but I don't really know anything about it. I don't know about the quality of class equipment, but I do have several class tractors, modded tractors in the game, as well as a class square baler, whatever you want to call it. and I'm kind of leaning towards trying to save up the money for that class baler. It's a little more expensive than your standard square baler on just the standard equipment from Farming Simulator 19. But the look of it and from what I can tell, the performance of it is something that I really like. So eventually we'll probably have a lot of class equipment on this farm. I don't know if class is a brand that's used in Australia or if it's a primary European brand. I don't know. I could do some research, and if you guys know, let me know. Let me know what you want to see too. I'm open to suggestion. Let's just check in on our harvester, and then we will look at what else needs to be done around the farm. Okay, so we've got, like I said, guys, I'm open to suggestions. John Deere, obviously, I'm going to be using John Deere equipment. From the southern United States, John Deere is very prevalent here. I think there's 3 John Deere dealers in the city I live in. So that's something we're going to be using. I like the look of John Deere. There's the name recognition, things like that. But it's going to be a mix probably between John Deere and like I said, the class equipment. But let's check out. Keep opening the map when I need to open the store. So for now, let's check out the balers. I do have, I think, an auto loading. Yeah, these flatbeds are auto loading, where the bales just kind of transport or teleport onto the trailer. But what I'm thinking is this is probably the baler we're going to go with. Requires 180 horsepower. I believe I have the variable bale capacity mod installed on this. I know we're not using the New Holland roll belt. I don't want to deal with round bales. So I have the option of this one here. I think it's Coon is how it's pronounced. If I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. It's a square baler. It's decent. Let's see. I mean, we might be able to buy, I don't know how much of a discount we'll get on this if we buy it used. How much money it would save us? $25,000. That gives us enough to buy it, but that leaves us very little in our bank account to do anything. And I don't need a baler right this second. Like I said, I won't need the baler until I do harvest that barley field. So once I get that harvested, we'll get it baled up, get the bales sold, and kind of pad our bank account that way. But I'm really leaning towards this class quadrant 5300 FC. It looks nice, and that's kind of all the information I have to go on is the aesthetics, and it's definitely a nice looking baler. So we'll hop out of here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get our spreader, get it started up, pull over here to our nice little multi-silo. We'll hop in. You see we have the option between lime and fertilizer. I'm not doing lime as of right now. Yes, it would give us more to do, but it doesn't really add anything gameplay-wise, I feel. It's very repetitive. You put lime on the field, you cultivate the field, or vice versa, whatever the proper order is, I don't know. And then you do it all over again. So we're going to be doing fertilizer in this, and if I end up changing my mind on lime, then we will do that. We'll probably just purchase another dry box to go on this tractor. We've got a capacity of 19,200 pounds of dry fertilizer. Would it be better to use liquid fertilizer? Probably. I don't know. If you guys would rather see a sprayer, let me know. Like I said, there is a sprayer attachment for this particular tractor. Just takes the place of the dry box and has boom arms and all that. So if that's something you want to see, let me know. But what we're going to do... Oh, drove too far. We're going to start over here in this canola field. I don't really, the things like the fertilizer and the brakes are not very responsive on this at all. Trying to run into gates and all that. I don't really do too well applying fertilizer to fields. I tend to miss a lot of spots, especially when the crops are grown up this high. It's easier when they're smaller because you can kind of see the ground change colors when you apply the fertilizer. I believe this field is going to need to be fertilized. Let's find out. I don't care about that. Yeah, there's been no fertilizer applied to any of the fields we own. So I think what we're going to do, I'm going to apply the fertilizer here in field 13. We'll just kind of time lapse it, see how it goes. But yeah, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started, and we'll see you when we are done.
Where am I going now? Just falling over dreams. Now I'm just so far gone, this isn't what it seems. Taking me so damn long, it's fading from belief. I need to slow this down, it's burning from beneath. Come break this line, this falls in my own sights. Holding on for what it's worth my life. I'm all inside, I'll make it up the vine. Find my way to giants in the sky. Tonight it comes to life.
All right, guys. So clearly the crop growth changed in the middle of fertilizing the field. I should have gotten that started sooner, maybe used it on course play while I was planting the field. So there's no point in continuing to apply fertilizer. At this stage, this canola is considered ready to harvest, as well as I think the rest of our fields are going to be at the same stage. It looks like it. So we've got quite a few fields to get harvested. Unfortunately, none of them are fully fertilized. So what I need to do is get over to field 11 as soon as possible, because it's probably going to be at a slightly higher growth stage now. Get in there. Just close this gate real quick. I don't like leaving gates open, even though I've got gates open, I believe, at field 11 and at field 16, our soybean field that we're harvesting right now. We're going to hop over to field 11 and go ahead and get that one harvested, fertilized. That's the one we just planted. So that we at least have one coat of fertilizer on the crops, which will improve our yield. Yeah, see, our soybeans are already starting to pop up in field 11. So we're going to go in and get this harvested. Jesus, get it fertilized, and that way we don't have to run into the same issue of trying to fertilize right before it's ready to harvest. So we're gonna go ahead and get this going. Like I said, I'm gonna be trying to do as few time lapses as possible. I know my first video had a few, but hopefully this one I can cut that number down and cut the video length down. And honestly, this field is going to be easier to see where I've been and not miss pieces, because I'm actually going to be able to see where the fertilizer has been applied and where it has not. So guys, I'm going to hop into a quick time lapse here. It's probably going to take me a little bit to get this fertilized, but it's not going to take nearly as long as getting it seeded. So I'm gonna hop into the quick time lapse, and I will see you guys when this field is completely fertilized.
Tongue-tied midnight. You can say all that you want, but you and I were meant for this. You know, sometimes we hide behind this illusion that we're done. Oh, please see that you're wrong in this. I don't fall in love 'cause I'm here tonight. I don't wanna say it, but it just feels right. I think the girls just to pass the time. I wanna stay at the back of your mind. We're saying it over, and don't get me wrong, but I'm done with these games. But I'll hold on to faith. You and I are stuck on this. I can't seem to let it go. It's not too late. Just show it your face this time. I still feel like you lied about the way that you can't love. We should have never let this go. No, we were the catch on the summer nights. Kids in the street that got it right. Every time I felt to let go, every time I felt to let go. We're saying it over, and don't get me wrong, but I'm done with these games. But I'll hold on to faith. You and I are stuck on this. I can't seem to let it go. It's not too late. Just show it your face this time. You can knock me down, but I'll find a way. She said you don't know. She said you don't know. If this is what you want, if you wanna go, I'll have to go and let it breathe. But I'll be waiting here. You see.
All right, guys. So we've just got a little bit left to do here. It's not much left. This field will be fertilized once we're done this little strip here, and then we can move on to the next project, which really is right now going to be getting all of our fields harvested. Honestly, I feel like we might have too many fields to be able to handle with one harvester. So what we might do is, as much as I don't like doing it, lease a second harvester and get started on some of our smaller fields. That way we can just kind of keep this rolling. The only problem with that is I'm going to have a separate trailer to go with that second harvester. So I'm going to have to lease a harvester, a header, and a trailer. I want to get this done so we can move on to the next thing. I want to get these fields turned around as quickly as possible and possibly move on to some animals maybe. Probably going to replant some of these smaller fields as grass fields and get a little mower. Probably just one that I can attach onto the tractor. Get a little mower and get set up for maybe some sheep. They're kind of easy to start out with. Sheep or chickens are going to be your easiest to start out with, from what I found, what they require. We'll just go ahead and park him over here out of the way. I'm probably not going to be doing much with cows and pigs. The only thing you really gain from pigs is the slurry and solid manure for the fertilizing of your fields. Cows you can profit off of and make some milk, or profit off of with milk, sorry, if I can figure out how to speak. But cows require a lot of time and attention that I don't feel like we'd be able to properly do this series if I had to devote that much time to one task. Make sure they're fed, they have the right amount of straw, total mixed ration, water, keeping them clean, keeping them ready to go and as productive as possible. I don't feel like we'd have the proper amount of time. Now we are set up with a little pig enclosure here, little sheep enclosure here. They're not going to hold many, obviously, and we can look into some mods, maybe turn some of these smaller fields into like a pasture for the sheep, get something bigger. And then we've got our little chicken coop, little chicken enclosure over here. Chickens are obviously the easiest. They only require barley or wheat, I think it is. And that's it. And they make eggs. You profit off of it. We've got a massive barley field that we could put into storage in preparation for those chickens. But I think for now, our best option is going to be set up where we can get started with sheep. I think that's going to be the best, most profitable option. Get a couple grass fields set up where they'll be constantly supplying us with food for our sheep, and get a little water tanker, maybe look into like a modded water station or a water tank. We might have one already built into the game. I'm not sure. I usually use a modded thing in my solo plays where I'm just messing around having fun. So we might look into something like that that'll fit the farm, fit the aesthetics. But for now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take over this harvester. Let's back it up, turn it back on. I'm going to take over this harvester. I know it's loud in third person, but I'm going to go ahead and finish this field up, and then that's probably where we're going to call this an episode. It's probably going to take me... It might still take me a good little bit to get the rest of this field finished up. Like I said, the little missed bits here and there, I'm not worried about going back and picking up. I believe I said it in the last episode. I'm not really worried about going back and picking those up because the monetary value of those tiny little pieces is so small that it's not worth the time investment to drive the harvester all over the field trying to get those pieces. So what we're going to do, I'm going to time-lapse finishing up this field, getting it the rest of the way harvested, and I will see you guys when it's done.
Giving up, letting go, times we might feel compelled. Looking down from the heights that we have built all by ourselves. And there is fear of the unknown, but we cannot lose control. When we feel like the world is against us, we're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Into the infinite that we must reach. 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 Now which way do we go is the question to ask. There are so many choices that it's hard not to look past. What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We're trying to find ourselves without the defining words. We can no longer hold on to what only makes us hurt. We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves that we must reach for. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach. Into the infinite that we must reach.
All right, guys. So we've got field 16, I think it is. I can't remember what field number this is. Completely harvested, all the soybeans collected, minus the few little missed pieces. That is what it is. That's one of the downsides of course play, is it doesn't always collect everything it's supposed to and hit every area you want it to. But we can live with a couple little missed bits here and there because we have a massive amount of soybeans. We have what was left in the harvester and almost 30,000 pounds of soybeans in this trailer here. We're going to get this dumped into that trailer, and while that's going, I'm going to talk to you guys about the future plans for the episode, or for the series, sorry, and things of that nature. The plan is for the next episode, we're going to, let me just back this up here. Get started, possibly lease another harvester and another trailer. I'm not going to start cultivating the fields until I'm cultivating them all at the same time or around the same time. So I'll get all the fields cultivated, all the fields planted, get it turned around and ready to get moving towards the next harvest. Once we get fields harvested, we will probably look into possibly getting a baler for like our barley fields, our wheat fields, things like that. Go ahead and cut that off because it's loud, and that harvester's not doing us any favors either. Pop in here, cut this off. Go ahead and put that in. So with that being said, guys, I think that's gonna about do it. We'll have to see. Like I said, in the next episode, we're going to be getting, hopefully, the rest of our fields harvested. We have field 11 that's growing, field 16 that's harvested. We've got 10, 12, 13, 18, and 19 to get harvested. I think we're going to start on 19. It is the biggest. It's a barley field, so we're going to have straw that needs to get baled, things of that nature. Then we'll get 13 done, 12. We'll work just biggest to smallest and around our farm. Get all these fields harvested, and then sell our crops and see. So we've got a barley field here, an oat field here, 2 wheat fields, and a canola field. We've got a soybean field growing. I missed a couple spots in there. That's fine. I think with the fertilizer, I pretty much covered it. I missed a tiny little bit in the corner. I'm not going to stress about that. I missed a good chunk of 13, but that's just because the growth stage changed while I was in the middle of fertilizing, which is always unfortunate. But it does happen from time to time when you don't do things when you should do them. So, guys, with that being said, this is where I'm going to leave this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it's a little shorter than the last one. Guys, if you enjoyed it and you stuck around till the end, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe. I'll be putting out Farming Simulator every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. So yeah, stick around if you want to see more Ninghan Farms. If there's another map you want to see, let me know in the comments down below. But guys, stay safe. I hope you have a good holiday season. And I will see you next time.